Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are having a great summer vacation, summer of just having some fun, enjoying the weather. Now, granted, depending on where you're watching this, your summer may be different. You may be experiencing winter, just depends on where you are on this wonderful planet. But again, if you are in the northern hemisphere and you're enjoying some warmth, I say awesome. So welcome back to the channel. Thank you for supporting me. For those who have been watching me all along or just jumped on, thank you for jumping in. For those of you who are new, thank you for jumping in as well. I appreciate it. I mean, all of you I treat and feel like you're part of the family as we grow, because I say we, not just me. It's a we thing. You guys are joining me along the ride, and I really appreciate that. So for anybody who's been following me, I really started out where I went from a Fanatic or a Fanatec CSL-DD to a Moza R9. That was my first video, just comparing the two, based on, again, being a consumer. I think many times what I see when I watch these videos are people forget that most of us don't get these products free. So although they're providing reviews of products that I believe are as unbiased as they can possibly be, when you're receiving a free item, I it's hard to tell at times. And trust me, I've received a free wheel from Moza at the time, and I appreciate that. And thank you for saying that over to me, Moza, at the time when I say green, I mean absolutely green. But they sent me out a will, and I did pay it forward because, again, I didn't really use it, and I thought it'd be better to pay it forward to benefit those out there. So I gave it away for free. I'm not sure if they appreciate that or not, but at the end of the day, I think as a person, if I have something I don't need, don't use, then I'd like to pay it forward to you guys. With that being said, the reason I'm doing this video is because, again, like many of you, we spend our hard-earned money on all of this gear. And I started out within a year's time, I went from a used CSL Elite to a CSW 2.5 to a CSL DD to the Moza R9. And I did that really all within a year based on getting some products used, buying one new, and then Moza came out and I saw that GS wheel. I was like, I gotta have something, and that looked awesome, and I got it. Don't regret any of those purchases along the way. To be honest, I wish I would have done a little more research and maybe avoided some of those purchases, not because they were bad purchases, but looking at how much I liked racing as a kid, sitting in those cockpits, like maybe if I just would have saved up and went all in, I would have avoided some of those headaches along the way. And not headaches from I didn't enjoy it, but just the money you spend. So I say all that to say, when you buy something, again, do the research first. Maybe buy something cheap just to try it. And if you like it, go for the best that you can afford. And if that means saving up and using that cheap thing for the next 6 months to a year to buying once and crying once, do that. By all means, don't keep doing incremental upgrades, because you will spend a lot more money in the long run. So the main reason I'm doing this video again is because you will spend your money on a litany of different products, and I will do the same for the most part. I believe in paying that information for it and telling you what I feel and kind of looking at what's on the market. So what I'm going to try and do here in this video is kind of give you my take on how this wheelbase feels, what I'm feeling through the wheel. We'll do a little bit of driving. This is far less a review in a traditional sense where I unbox it and I take it out and I take it apart. You've seen that. Many of you have watched Will or Dan or Barry or Dave Cam or many of these guys. They've reviewed the VRS wheelbase. They've told you how great it is and told you the value. But again, I paid for this. Nobody gave it to me free. I bought it with my own hard-earned money, and I bought and as you can see here, I'll take off my awesome wheel. I bought the wheelbase, their mount, and their QR solution. I already had the NRG style because I bought another NRG hub. So I still have one here from Moza since it works. So why change something that works and just buy something that works that I can use all of my other wheels for? And I sold a few of them, so I only have the two really. So the VRS, I can tell you, I love it. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. I'm feeling things from this wheelbase I've never felt on any others, but I also had weaker wheelbases, so that's partly some of it. But the first thing I think we need to talk about is the value proposition. So what I've done is I've pulled up some wonderful videos here, pictures of just other wheelbases and what it's going to cost you to get a 20 Newton meter wheelbase or something comparable. If it's between 17 and 24, and they have various options and what goes along with it. Because again, $7.99 for the wheelbase. If you have a front-facing mount, it works with your front-facing mount. I have the wheel mount here, so I had to drill some holes. But again, I got their mounting system and their QR attachment. But again, if you have some of these things, then that will save you money. And if you have a front-facing mount, then that's already going to save you. Some options require you to make certain changes. So again, looking at this one, the first one we're going to take a look at for me is Asetek, because I think Asetek is coming on strong. They're really showing everybody some great values, some great products, and from everything I hear, their wheelbases are amazing. But the cost, and I think for all of these that I'm going to show, it's the cost that kind of made me look elsewhere and made me really focus on VRS and look at the reviews and look at the videos, and I'm happy. But like looking at, let's say, Asetek Sim Sports, if we just look here, what we're going to see is they have some bundles where you get some products with it, where you get some pedals, a wheelbase, and a wheel with it. But for me, I didn't want any of those things. To be honest, I've seen reviews of their products. I don't like the wheel rim, to be honest. I know that some that I've used or some that I've seen in the past kind of look like toys, but I'm not a fan of that wheel, just personally. But again, you may love it, and awesome. Kudos to you. But just looking at the cost, again, 18 Newton meters, $1,049. And I couldn't use the mount I have here. I have to buy one of their mounting solutions. Which, again, I did for the VRS. But even with the QR and their mounting solutions and shipping, I'm still cheaper than that $1,049, and I get 2 additional Newton meters. So to me, as great as that is, well, the value really is with VRS. And again, the feel of it feels great. I have not used an Asetek wheelbase. Again, from all the reviews I watch, I hear it's absolutely great. And some people are putting it better than what I believe is the gold standard in SimiCube. But they have their Invicta, their Forte, and their La Prima. The La Prima, from my understanding, currently right now, they only sell it in a bundle. You can't buy it for separate. But again, I believe they will offer it in the future. SimiCube to me is the gold standard, and I think they're going to remain the gold standard. I think the problem is with SimiCube is it's just a wheelbase similar to my VRS. There's no extra features or extra things like you get with Asetek. So it's kind of limited in that this wheelbase has been out for a while, no different than my VRS. But again, looking at the cost, like just to be in the ballpark, I'm spending $1,200 on the Sport. Great wheelbase, but this was $799. So again, if you have the money to afford these, I'm not telling you not to. I'm telling you, do the research. Like, really look, do you really need the SimiCube? Do you need the Asetek? Do you need 20 Newton meters? Is 15 fine? Is 9 perfect for you? All depends. For me, again, the value proposition was like, well, I'm going to get 20 Newton meters after using 9. I needed more headroom. I needed more feel in the wheel that I wasn't getting, especially around the center. 9 is great for most, but for me, there were some limitations there. So I definitely wanted to get something different, and I felt it was necessary to spend the extra money. Moving forward, I did have Moza, and I actually looked at the R21 and was almost going to get it, but then I looked at the price and was like, well, again, do I not want to spend $1,099? No, I do not. The value proposition and quality just sold me. I will still recommend that if you are looking at an entry-level system. I've had Fanatic, and I've had Moza. I've used SimiCube. I haven't used some of the cheaper. I haven't used the Logitech wheelbase or the new Logitech, or Thrustmaster direct drive wheelbases they've come out with. Again, so many choices out there, and I don't even have them up here, to be honest. But so many choices that you have. But for me, again, it came down to the bang for the buck. And the good thing about Moza is because you can just plop any wheel on, and that their mounting solution, their QR solution, is just a standard mounting solution, I'll tell anybody, I would recommend it, especially the Moza R9 for entry level. Once you get into spending more money, then I think you look at the value proposition. Then you look at, again, VRS, $799, 21 newton meters, Moza, $1,099. If you like their wheel rims and you like the FSR and the GS and the CS and the RS and some of the other ancillary products they got coming with it, and you want an entire ecosystem, definitely cool. If you're looking for console, Fanatec is going to be the only one you can really go with. So there goes that option. But again, so many options. But again, $1,099 for that. SimMagic Alpha Ultimate, again, $1,029. 23 newton meters. Again, just more money. I like the simplistic. So for me, like, this looks just like the SemiCube. I like them simple. I like them industrial. I like the black look of it. I don't need anything that has bells and whistles anywhere on here. Looking at the R21, like, you only can mount it from the bottom. And I think that's kind of a downfall, because as pretty as some may think it looks, I think it looks cool. I don't think it looks bad at all. I like the more industrial, simple look, but you can't mount it from the front or from the side. It's only mounted from the bottom. But again, as long as you put proper screws in it, I don't think you're going to notice a problem with it. But again, that's $1,099 and $1,029. Then you have Camus. I've never actually used one, and they don't even have anything at 20. But I mean, I'll be honest. Look at this price. I mean, $499 for 15 newton meters. Now, either they are going out of business. I mean, and it says 44% off. I have never seen anything in my life in the sim racing scene almost 50% off for a wheelbase. So either they are really bad, or they have more than they ever wanted to have on stock. Maybe they're not selling as much as they'd like. But for $499, like, I don't know how good they are. I would say look at some reviews, but that's a hell of a price. I mean, you're getting 15 newton meters for what you would pay for a CSL DD or a Moza R9, slightly more. So again, check it out. Like, I have never used one. But yeah, but again, they've got this new one here. It doesn't have a price next to it, but man, that's something interesting. Next, like I said, Fanatec. If you want console support, if you want to play on a PS5 and the PC, Xbox and the PC, PS4 and the PC, like, Fanatec's your only option. And to me, again, the prices, just more expensive. If you're playing on PC, then I don't see why you would be playing on console. I understand that there are games you may own for your console, but you can get them all for PC. I mean, you have more options. You have more peripherals you can add. You're not locked into an ecosystem. But again, if you are on a console, which is where I started, I have a PS5 and I'm playing F1 on my PS4 well before I got this set up, and I played it on a controller. So if you want to stay and you just want to upgrade from that, then obviously Fanatec is going to be a great option. And again, they have their, CSL DDs and all of those options, and, the Grand I mean, but it's still $499.95. So that's $500, where if you have a PC option, then I would say there are definitely some other options out there. So, not poo-pooing any of those things, but I will say, be conscientious and do your research. So what I'm going to do, my goal here is I've got I think it's Ligier JS, basically an LMP3 car. What we'll do is we'll get on track. I'll show you what I am seeing here, and we'll take a look at what's going on with the car, how it feels with this wheelbase. Because like I said, I think if you're going to spend your money, you need to have as much feedback as possible. You need to understand what you're going to be spending your money on. And again, I'm coming from CSL Elite used, CSW 2.5 used, CSL DD brand spanking new. Again, purchase all this with my own money. Upgraded to the Moza R9. They actually replaced my R9 with the R9 V2 because it was having some issues. But again, nothing that was major. Just, I think something just stopped working. Not something that I believe happens often. Most people are having a great time with it. Just, every now and then, something goes wrong. Moza R9 to then the VRS. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start this up, and what we're gonna do is, like I said, I'm gonna just explain what I am feeling in this base. And I think where I am totally ecstatic about this is it really just, I'm getting feeling around the center of the wheelbase, something I didn't experience before. Now this is a interesting car to drive, only because it's right hand driving, and yeah, so it definitely is something that's different. But I am feeling so much feedback, and I think I have on something, oh no, had a setting on that I didn't, because I couldn't see the RPMs, and who wants to drive and not have RPMs they can see? But again, one, the car is awesome. So if you're thinking of purchasing the LMP3, if you're thinking of purchasing the Cadillac, I've bought that, as well as the Porsche. They're all really fun to drive. But I will say this, where I will tell each and every one of you, if you're going to spend money on the wheelbase, save up. 9 Newton meters is nice, don't get me wrong. It is definitely a good entry point, and it's going to do, you know, a good amount of things that you want it to do. But the feeling around center when you're driving, like I'm running this, to be honest, I am running this at 75%, so about 15 of the 20 Newton meters that I have. I will never get close to clipping, because I'm never going to run it at, you know, its full 20 Newton meters. That's just ridiculous. To the guys that do, you are awesome. But I'm not that guy, and yeah, I work out a little bit, not that much. But with that being said, like what I'm feeling in this one, I'm getting those granular details that I didn't get with the Moza R9. And again, just because it's 9 Newton meters, you know, and like I said, around center, I actually feel the car. Like I feel like I am actually attached to, you know, sitting in a seat, you know, buckled in, and now as I turn the wheel, I feel all of it. And I feel like where I was missing out before was, as I was turning the wheel, I just wasn't feeling anything. So like it would be so light around center no matter how much I added, and if I try to tune it up higher, then what ended up happening is I would clip a lot. And if you watch my previous videos, you'll see that I clipped quite a bit when racing. In fact, quite a few have actually pointed it out, that hey Ray, you're clipping. Well, it's because I was trying to run that wheelbase with far more wheel friction, so I'd feel the actual car. And if you're wondering what wheel rim I am using, obviously Bavarian Simtec Red Devil. But again, this is just so much cleaner around center. It's so much smoother. I've had some great guys send me some awesome profiles and send me some samples of what I could use for this wheelbase, and it's been so amazing to actually be able to just feel things I wasn't. So for each and every one of you, if you're out there and you're looking to buy a wheelbase, I'm not going to tell you not to get what your heart is set on, because I understand sometimes you want something and that's what you've always wanted and you just have to get it, and there's nothing wrong with that. Get what you want, get what you've spent your money on, what you've saved it for, and you know, enjoy every bit of it. If you want a SemiCube 2 Pro, get it. If you want a SemiCube 2 Ultimate, get it. If you have the money to get the active pedal and all those things that, you know, they sell or any company sells, if you always wanted a DD1 or DD2, stay off the grass, right? Get it. Like, don't let me sway you from getting something you've been really wanting. What I will tell you is, by all means, just do the research. look into other items, because I was so sold on getting the SimiCube 2 Pro. And I think, honestly, like I said, I've used that, and not anything extensive, don't get me wrong. Like many of you, if you have the option, I've went to Micro Center a ton, and when they had it where you can actually mess with the settings and tune it, I messed with it, put some settings on that I saw others running on YouTube. Few times I went there, and then always, you know, reset it back, because I'm not that guy who's going to change it to something crazy and then not reset it. Like, no, if I'm going to change it, I'm going to set it back to how they want it. But I'll be honest, like, I don't feel like I'm missing anything. I don't feel as if there's something that I was able to do there that I couldn't do here. And I say that because they've made updates of the settings for the VRS that now give you so many more options to change things where you couldn't before. So I say all that to say, get what you want if that's what you can afford. Get what you've been looking forward to. If you have a ton of, you know, Fanatec gear and you want to get a DD1 or DD2, do it. If you have money to burn and you want to get a SimiCube 2 Ultimate, or you want to get the Asetek Invicta, and that's where you have your hard-earned money sold, do it. Like, don't let anybody sway you from it. But in the same sense, if you're open to the idea of potentially saving yourself some money, saving yourself a headache, and getting something that's just as good where you won't lose out on anything, then I would tell you, get the VRS. $799. You don't have to get some special mounts. You don't have to, like I said, and to be honest, that's my only hang up with Asetek. Like, I can't just go and buy their gear because I gotta buy a special front mounting solution or a special mounting plate, and that, to me, when you can make things universal in any capacity to save the consumer some money, I'm always for that. Now, sim racers, we are far more giving of our hard-earned cash. We just want to throw it away, it seems. And trust me, I say that as somebody who's done it myself. But don't throw it away when, if I told you can get 95% of what you want and you can save $500-600 in the process, I would say do that. And take that $500-600, put it towards better pedals, put it towards, you know, a better rig, put it towards better monitors, put it towards, you know, things that are going to actually assist you in being better on track. You know, hell, you could take that $500, get you, you know, a Apex Racing membership or VRS or many of the other ones. You can go ahead and get yourself, you know, a wheel rim or a wheel or various different things with the money you could save by getting something like VRS. Now, again, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you understand why I'm coming from where I come. And if you have some feedback on maybe I missed something, I'm not evaluating something correctly, as always, offer a comment. Offer it down below. Like, I love to read them. I love to respond. Just don't be an idiot, you know what I mean? Like, be respectful. So thank you. As always, click on that subscribe button. Give me the thumbs up. Turn the notifications on. And then hopefully you get some of these cars, because boy, this is fun to drive. And I'll be honest, with the new wheelbase and the fact that I can actually feel stuff now, I think that's the reason, not the reason why I was slow, but I did do a few races, and I think this is going to contribute to me just steering and handling better, because now I can feel things I never did before. So, as always, I'll talk to you guys later, and if you need me, hit me up. Peace.